Ice, how do you feel about everyone getting unbanned on Kick except Samuel Pepper? Big ass W for Kick.
The return of a villain. The internet is a place of short memories, but some actions are so reckless that they should be impossible to forget. It's January 2026, and a notification just popped up on thousands of phones across the world. A name we thought was gone for good has reappeared in the Live Now section of Kick. Jack Doherty is back. The story of Jack Doherty isn't just a story about a streamer, it's a case study on the decay of modern morality in the digital age. For years, we watched this young man push the boundaries of decency, moving from annoying pranks to life-threatening negligence. When he was finally banned in 2024 and arrested in 2025, the streaming community took a collective breath of relief. It felt like the Wild West era of Kick was finally over. We thought the platform had finally decided that human life was worth more than a few thousand extra viewers. But we were wrong. The unbanning of Jack Doherty in 2026 is a slap in the face to every creator who follows the rules. It raises a terrifying question.
Ice, how do you feel about everyone getting unbanned on Kick except Samuel Pepper? Big ass W for Kick.
Is there actually a limit to what an influencer can do? Or have we reached a point where if you have enough money and enough hate watchers, you are effectively above the law? Today, we are diving deep into the dark timeline of Jack Doherty. From the McLaren wreckage to the jail cells of Miami, we're exploring why he's back and what this means for the future of the internet. The evolution of entitlement. To understand the monster, you have to look at the creator. Jack Doherty's rise to fame wasn't based on talent, humor, or skill. It was based on a calculated pursuit of clout. In his early days, he was just another YouTuber doing flip challenges and basic pranks. But as the competition grew, Jack realized that being liked was harder than being noticed. He began to specialize in a very specific type of content, public harassment. He didn't just walk into stores, he invaded them. He didn't just talk to strangers, he harassed them until they snapped. And every time a security guard or a tired retail worker got angry, Jack's camera was there to capture it. He would then frame himself as the victim to his young, impressionable audience. This created a dangerous cycle. Jack learned that being the bad guy was incredibly profitable. He started surrounding himself with massive bodyguards, creating a shield that allowed him to say whatever he wanted to whoever he wanted without fear of consequences. This wasn't just entertainment, it was a psychological experiment in how much a person can get away with if they have a camera and a paycheck. He began to view the world not as a place of people, but as a map of content opportunities. No one was safe and nothing was sacred. The day the world saw the real Jack. If there is one moment that defines Jack Doherty, it is October 5th, 2024. This wasn't a prank gone wrong, it was a display of pure, unadulterated negligence. Jack was driving his custom-painted McLaren, a car that cost more than most people's homes, on a highway in Florida. It was raining heavily, the roads were slick. Any person with a shred of common sense knows that a supercar and a wet road are a deadly combination. But Jack wasn't looking at the road, he was looking at his smartphone. He was reading his Kick chat, chasing the high of real-time validation. He was driving over 80 miles per hour, one hand on the wheel, the other on his phone. The footage is haunting. You see the car hydroplane, you hear the scream, and then the silence of the impact. The McLaren was totaled, but it was what happened after the dust settled that truly shocked the world. His cameraman and friend, Michael, was sitting in the passenger seat with blood pouring down his face. He was clearly in shock, suffering from a serious head injury. Instead of calling for help, instead of checking if his friend was okay, Jack's first instinct was to hand the camera back to the bleeding man. He shouted, "Michael, film me." He stood outside his wrecked car, mourning the loss of the vehicle while his friend sat in the background, injured because of Jack's stupidity. The internet saw the truth that day. Jack Doherty doesn't value human life. He values the footage of the life he almost destroyed. This incident led to his first major ban, and for a moment, it felt like the world had seen enough. The Miami downfall. Many hoped that losing his platform would be a wake-up call, but for Jack, the lack of a live audience only made him more desperate. In 2025, the chaos moved from the digital world to the very real streets of Miami. Jack was arrested following a series of incidents that proved he hadn't learned a single lesson. He was caught blocking traffic on busy Florida roads just to film TikToks. When the police arrived, he didn't comply. He argued. He acted as if the badge didn't apply to him because he was famous. The legal documents from his arrest painted a grim picture. Beyond the traffic violations, there were allegations of drug possession, specifically substances like amphetamines. This wasn't a prankster anymore. This was a young man in a total downward spiral, fueled by ego and a complete lack of accountability. His mugshot became a meme, but for those watching closely, it was a warning. He was a danger to himself and everyone around him. At this point, even his most loyal fans began to turn away. The permanent ban from Kick felt like the final nail in the coffin. We thought we were done with the Jack Doherty era. The 2026 unban and the death of accountability. So how did we get here? How does someone with a criminal record, a history of endangering public safety, and a blatant disregard for his own friends get unbanned in 2026? The answer lies in the cold, hard numbers of the streaming industry. Kick, as a platform, has always marketed itself as the edgy alternative to Twitch. They pride themselves on fewer rules and more freedom. But there is a difference between freedom of speech and freedom to endanger others. By unbanning Jack, Kick has decided that clout is more valuable than safety. They know that Jack Doherty is a hate watch magnet. People tune in just to see him fail, to see him get arrested, or to see him get into another accident. To a platform, a hate watch viewer generates the same ad revenue as a fan watch viewer. This unban is a signal to every toxic creator out there that you can do the unthinkable and still come back as long as you have an audience. It sets a dangerous precedent for the next generation of streamers. If Jack can do this and keep his career, what's stopping the next person from going even further? We are witnessing the death of accountability in real time. The choice is yours. At the end of the day, this doesn't really come down to Kick, the algorithm, or even Jack Doherty. It comes down to us, because Jack isn't back on your screen by accident. He's back because the system allows him to be there. Platforms don't run on morals, they run on numbers, views, clicks, watch time, and money. And whether people love him or hate him, Jack brings all of it. To the platform, he isn't reckless or toxic, he's revenue. So his unban wasn't shocking, it was business. If you generate attention, you get rewarded, and Jack understands that. Every prank, every public disturbance, every controversial moment just creates more buzz, and buzz means views. The truth is, people don't share normal content, they share chaos, they share drama, and Jack built his entire career around that. But here's the part nobody wants to admit. The platform wants money, Jack wants attention, and both of them need the same thing. You. Every time you click just to check, every time you hate watch, every time you share a clip to complain about him, you're helping him. Even criticism is promotion. The algorithm doesn't care why people watch. It only cares that they do. We say we don't like creators like this, but we keep making them famous. We say they're bad for the internet, but we reward them with the most attention. That's why bans don't work. The moment he comes back, everyone clicks again, and the cycle repeats, because the algorithm follows us. If we stopped watching, he wouldn't be trending. He'd be irrelevant. And irrelevance is what actually ends careers like this. Not outrage, not drama, just silence. So yeah, Jack might be live again, but you don't have to watch, you don't have to click, you don't have to share. Ignoring him is more powerful than complaining about him. So the real question isn't why Kick unbanned him. The real question is why we keep watching. What do you think about Kick's decision? Smart business move or proof the platform has no soul? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.